Bolton know all about the playoffs. They were here in '95 when they overcame Reading after being 2 goals down, and Reading contrived to miss a penalty. It'll be Watford to get the 1999 First Division playoff final underway. They finished in 5th place, 10 points behind the runners-up Bradford City and 4 behind Birmingham City, who they just about got past in the semi-finals. Basley drives it forward as Watford look for an early attack, but it's repelled by that Bolton Wanderers defence. There's Mark Fish, the South African international, who in a week's time will be playing for his country against Mauritius in an African Nations Cup qualifier. Taylor with a touch is a poor one. It's been given away to Richard Johnson now of Watford, who squeezes the ball into Ngonge. Per Franson in midfield here for Bolton. It's a nervous ball and with quite a few misplaced passes in the opening minute of the game. That's hardly a surprise. Chamberlain fires the ball forward. Fish, very accomplished central defender. One back there by Richard Johnson. There's a free kick there to Bolton Wanderers. And Ngonge scored the only goal against Birmingham at Vicarage Road. And he was involved in an incident at St Andrews when David Holdsworth was sent off. Incidentally, the referee for today's game, Terry Heilbronn from Newton. Very swift pace early on here. Taylor, Jensen. Klaus Jensen now trying to make some space. He's done just that. Jensen could pull it back here. And Watford struggled to get it clear, with Gudjonsson waiting to bounce. Jensen really caused a lot of problems there for Watford. Here's Neil Cox, turned on to Per Franson, who's in some shooting space here. Beaten down, though, in the end by Paul Robinson. The danger isn't cleared yet. Jensen. Johansson. And it's going to be a corner kick. Bolton quickly in their stride. This terrific run here and turn by Klaus Jensen. Misha Hyde getting the ball to safety in the end. Corner kick to Bolton early on. Just about got clear by Watford. Taylor, Franson. Thought about the shot. Cuts inside Misha Hyde. All the way back to Fish, and Fish is taking no chances whatsoever. Back to his goalkeeper, Steve Banks. Johansson. Jensen. Strikes me that Bolton have made the more confident start. This is Nick Wright, the Ray Parlour lookalike they call him down at Watford. Per Franson, who holds the reins in midfield for Bolton. That one struck forward by Robbie Elliott. Very keen Newcastle United fan who was less than pleased when Newcastle performed so ineptly in this season's FA Cup final against Manchester United. Ngonge, chased here by Todd. A dangerous ball dealt with by Fish, who's the captain of Bolton Wanderers today. This is Taylor. Gudjonsson makes a break ahead of him. It really is crucial here for Watford not to concede an early goal. They seem to be taking their time, finding their feet at Wembley. Should be Fish's ball, indeed it is. Robinson. Timely challenge by Neil Cox, and there's going to be a stoppage here. Mark Fish is a player who's lying injured. This is where Fish injured himself, just went over on his knee. Might have just twisted his knee. In fact, he got a whack on his head, in fact, from Misha Hyde. And that's why he's receiving attention now from the Bolton physio. There's Colin Todd, the Bolton manager, who's twice suffered relegation with Bolton, and now on the verge of his second promotion with the club. He's refused to get caught up in the excitement of the day. He says it's just another league game, and indeed instructed his players to wear their usual tracksuits for the pre-match formalities today, rather than buying new suits, which is de rigueur these days at Wembley. That's Goodney Bergson, one of the Bolton substitutes. There's Fish, hopefully not a fish out of water. Ranson. Oh, there was a bit of afters there involving Richard Johnson. Per Franson making a challenging run right through the heart of the Watford midfield. That's a super ball to pick out Taylor. Taylor takes on Page. Taylor with a shot. Well held by Alex Chamberlain, the goalkeeper of Watford. Well, the service here to Bob Taylor was first class. Robert Page quickly across, but he couldn't get close enough to Taylor to prevent him having the shot on goal. Here's Ricardo Gardner of Bolton, who hasn't really got in the game so far. Basley. Surely a foul there by Michael Johansson on Peter Kennedy. Alex Chamberlain, who has faced Bolton before as a player. In fact, he was a non-playing sub for Liverpool when they met Bolton in a League Cup final a few years back. He made a smart save there. And now Watford have a rare chance to push some players forward now into the edge of that Bolton penalty area. Still 0-0. We've had 7.5 minutes of the game. This should be the keeper's ball, indeed it is. Steve Banks, who was playing for Blackpool just before the turn of the year, picks out Gardner, the Jamaican. Elliott. Gardner. Misha Hyde. Kennedy. Misplaced ball, again it's through to Steve Banks. He's brought his own fan club with him from Harbour View in Jamaica. Civic delegation here today to see him play. His transfer fee alone ensured that Harbour View FC in Jamaica could buy their own stand. Fish is the back marker now for Bolton. Banks getting plenty of yardage on the ball. Bolton finished the end of season strongly with just one defeat in 5 games. Although for most of the season they were odds-on favourites for an automatic promotion spot. But they had disappointing results against the like of Crewe and Stockport and Bury. There were rumours of dressing room mutiny, but Colin Todd just pulled the squad together and pushed Bolton towards the playoffs. Bit of a tussle there involving Gudjonsson, the Icelandic player, number 9. Away by Todd. Jensen. the first signs of Watford beginning to settle now. They've got a couple of tackles in, they've managed to string a few passes together, but for the first 5 minutes, Graham Taylor's side looked woefully second best. A little bit better now. Basile. Ives Palmer. Not a bad effort by Watford there, first of the game. Tommy Mooney with that inaccurate strike, but at least Watford are getting forward now and putting pressure on the last third of Bolton. Watford are a very powerful side. It's Robinson who strikes the ball forward. Kennedy. They need support here. Robinson. Jensen. Hansen trying to make progress. It's a throw into Bolton. There's Peter Kennedy, the Northern Ireland player. Branson. Shaking off the attentions of Misha Hyde. Game hasn't really ignited yet. And really neither goalkeeper has had too much to do so far. Certainly a feeling that this will be a low-scoring game. No repeat of the 4-4 that we had here a year ago when eventually Charlton Athletic overcame Sunderland via a penalty shootout to ascend to the Premier League. Gardner. Not enough on the ball to give it to Bolton, but Watford have it back now. This is Nick Wright running straight at the heart of that Bolton defence. Now, where's he going? A little bit of naivety. Had to push the ball too far and then had to chase his own pass. But what a year for Nick Wright, who came to the club from Carlisle last summer and now finds himself on the verge of the Premier League. Elliott. Good Johnson. Just got clear by Page. Oh, that's almost 1-0 to Bolton. Page's clearance landed straight at the boot there of Michael Johansson. And Johansson, who scored the winner against Ipswich in that playoff semi-final, what proved to be the winner, almost scored there. Page did just about enough to force the ball away. Good attempt on goal by Michael Johansson. Fairness, the goalkeeper had the majority of the goal covered. Well, we've reached the 13-minute mark, so things are not going as bad for Bolton as they did the last time they played in a playoff final against Reading here in '95, when Reading were 2 goals up inside 12 minutes. Bolton eventually went on to win after Reading missed the opportunity of making it 3-0 via the penalty spot. Basile, in his 10th season with the club. Kennedy. Very low trajectory cross, it's dealt with just about by Per Fransen. It looks like Johansson's taken a bit of a whack. In fact, it's Michael Johansson who was able to get up. Told to get on with it by the Watford, or rather Bolton physio. It remains 0-0. We've had nearly a quarter of an hour. Mooney can't get there. Maybe a first real opportunity now for Watford to get some bodies forward. That was a skewed cross by Neil Cox. Page and Palmer go forward in unison. Kennedy with the corner for Watford. Pushed by Page, the captain of Watford, the Welsh international. Very even now. Maybe Bolton edged the first 5 minutes or so by some distance, but Watford have come back strongly, and their fans are enjoying their big day out. Watford only about 45-minute drive from Wembley. It'll take a lot longer than that, depending on the traffic, of course, as you try to circumnavigate the M1 and M25 and all the way towards Wembley Stadium, which has to be one of the most inaccessible football grounds English supporters have to get to these days. It's Page with a free kick for Watford. The sun has come out and it's shining on Watford for the moment because they're doing okay. They're seeing a lot of the ball. This is Basley now for Watford. Right, barged off the ball by Elliott, and that will be a free kick to Watford. Robbie Elliott, all disbelief. Well, there's plenty of shoving going on by Elliott in the direction of Nick Wright. That's why the free kick was given. Kennedy to take the free kick now for Watford. It's a lovely free kick, beaten away just about by Banks. Bolton just about clear it. There were two Watford runners going after that ball, and not one Bolton defender went with them. One was Mooney, the other one was Ngonga. That was poor defending by Bolton, and the first sign that the team from the northwest of England are perhaps feeling one or two nerves here. Banks is complaining about the cover. Look, two Watford men, unmarked. Mooney just needed a touch there, and Watford would have been a goal up. I'd love to tell you who's chanting at the moment with the words "we are going up." I suspect it's a bit of both of them, really. This is Franson now for Bolton. Misha Hyde just barged him over. Free kick to Bolton. It's Fish to take the free kick. Pretty clear though by Palmer. Jensen. Good Jonsson. Johansson now. Per Franson now for Bolton. It's a corner kick. Per Franson was absolutely convinced there that he did not get the final touch. We've had 18 minutes of the Division 1 playoff final from Wembley. 0-0 between Bolton and Watford. Corner here to Bolton. Todd's after that one. He almost got there. Jensen to knock it back into the danger zone. Todd heads it on. Franson now for Bolton. Good Jonsson. Took a deflection and Alec Chamberlain had to swiftly reposition himself. I thought Good Jonsson was going to shoot there. And it just hit the very end of Page's boot. But the goalkeeper was well aware of the problems there for Watford, but there weren't too many problems. Nick Wright. His last goal came back in February against Queen's Park Rangers. It'll be Kennedy to take this free kick for Watford. We've almost hit the 20-minute mark. That was good defending by Fish. Still feeling the effects of that bump on his head, courtesy of Misha Hyde. And the referees awarded Bolton a free kick inside their own penalty area. This is Bolton's 5th appearance in the playoffs. They've lost a couple of semi-finals, lost one final, and of course they won here in '95 and are looking to repeat that success in '99. Huge Scandinavian influence on the Bolton Wanderers team. Johansson, Jensen, Gudjonsson, all part of the very capable Bolton Wanderers side, who would not be embarrassed in the Premier League by any stretch of the imagination. Page with a free kick. Misha Hyde. Aaron Basley. Hyde again. It's a useful cross. Nobody at the back post attacking it. That was a problem there for Watford. And it's Neil Cox who intelligently turns the ball out for a corner. Nobody attacked this ball when it was whipped in. We all stood and watched, but not Neil Cox. Corner then to Watford. Palmer's forward, it's right underneath the crossbar. Cleared by Banks, that's Mooney. And that's Fish. And that's Jens. Johansson. Branson. And wittingly, Bolton give possession back to Watford. Right. Chased by Ricardo Gardner with those rather snazzy boots on. Basley. Elliott loses out. This is Robbie Elliott. He was once Bolton's record signing when he arrived from Newcastle. He said he came to Bolton to play in the Premier League. Elliott was sidelined for most of last season with injury as Bolton slipped out of the Premier League. Now he's aiming to help to take them back. There he is. Fish. Elliott. Todd. Oh, they've given it away again. This is Nick Wright. That's a lovely ball in. Ngonga. That's a corner. Oh, yes, it is. Again, there was two Bolton players for company. Ngonga just unable to find an opening to have a shot on goal. It'll be number 3, Peter Kennedy, the Irishman, to curl his left boot around the ball. Very powerful header in the end by Cox just to clear the danger. More Watford pressure though. Kennedy just missed out at the vital moment. Did ever so well to keep the ball alive and deliver a good cross as well. Right. Still hasn't been cleared. And it's another corner. Oh, there's one or two nerves at the back there for Bolton as Watford seek the opening goal of the game. Cox's powerful header initially cleared the danger, but it just came back at Bolton again. It's a bit better. Johansson clears it. Jensen can't get there. Watford offside. Ricardo Gardner. Gudjonsson. Still Gudjonsson. And he's put it wide. Oh dear. You don't get too many chances like that at a Wembley showpiece. Not from there. Not with the goalkeeper outside his 6-yard box. Not with Paul Robinson having made a complete hash of it. What an opportunity, spurned by Bolton. Gudjonsson, former PSV Eindhoven player. Gardner played a super ball up to him. 20 minutes left of the first half. Still 0-0. Hyde. Basile, oh, he's done well, he's away from Gardner. One or two suspicions about a foul there by Ricardo Gardner. Hyde is having a good game for Watford. Again, has just drawn them powerfully forward from midfield. It would be a brave man to guess the outcome at the moment. That's not going to count. Even had it gone in, and Gonga with a delicate little touch and shove. Yes, that was a foul by Ngonga. Full marks for Watford. Matching Bolton stride for stride. Todd, Elliott. France. And this is Jensen. Klaus Jensen was looking for a free kick then. To be satisfied with the corner kick. He has got his free kick, in fact. It was the referee's assistant who gave that. It's Michael Johansson who's unhappy about the close proximity of... It's Nick Wright, isn't it, the Watford defender. This one curled into the near post. And Bolton have swapped their free kick for a corner kick. It's Ricardo Gardner to take the corner. Bizarre corner. There, France. Gardner. Initial control let him down. And Bolton will start again. And Todd has lost the ball here to Wright. Oh, problems here for Bolton. Ngonga for Watford. What a tackle. What an extraordinary tackle by Elliott. Ngonga in his shooting stride, eventually caught by the Bolton defender. And the chance has gone for Watford. Michael Johansson. The sun has come out. And the excitement levels are rising as well. Klaus Jensen takes on Hyde, takes on Mooney. Mooney's ripped the ball from him. Grant. Elliott, who made that marvellous challenge. Gudjonsson. Fish. Elliott again. Well, here's the problem. As Todd lost the ball, the son of the manager. And look at Ngonga. What a great sliding challenge that was. France. Johannes. Obstruction. What was I meant to do? I think the answer is get out the way. Robinson gave away the free kick. Quite clearly it was an obstruction. We've had half an hour of the Division 1 playoff final. 0-0 between Bolton and Watford. Bolton have a free kick. Gudjonsson! Fabulous save. What a save by Alec Chamberlain. Gudjonsson the first to react. His shot was on target this time, and that is an extraordinary stop by the Watford keeper. Ricardo Gardner with a corner. Goalkeeper couldn't get to that one, but this is France. It should be Jensen's ball. It is. Taylor. Still Bob Taylor. And it's cleared by the hero of the hour, Alec Chamberlain. Well, what a stop there by Alec Chamberlain. Gudjonsson must have thought he'd scored here. And that is outstanding reflexes by Alec Chamberlain to keep the ball out. Confirmation, incidentally, that Paul Robinson was cautioned for that obstruction. Paul Robinson has only just returned from suspension today. And here's the Bolton goalkeeper, Steve Banks. Gudjonsson has had two very good opportunities to score now. 3 attempts on goal. 2 of them have been on target, 1 of them off target. Elliott. And Taylor couldn't get there. Appeals for handball. The referee waited to see if there's any advantage to be had. There was none, before awarding Watford the free kick. Fish. Well, a year ago, these two teams were in different divisions. Bolton in the Premier League, Watford in Division 2, and by the end of today, once again, their paths will be going in very different directions. But who will be going to the Premier League? Gardner. Ricardo Gardner with a cross. It's a good one too, away by Palmer. And here's Nick Wright. Just unable to get to the ball before it spins out of play. This is a good cross by Gardner, looking for Gudjonsson. It's a goal kick. Bob Taylor, who was in the West Bromwich Albion side, who beat Port Vale in '93 here in a playoff final in Division 2. What a great opportunity that was for Gudjonsson. And how about this for one as well? But it certainly isn't one-sided. Watford have had their chances, but Bolton have probably had the clearer cut ones. Fish. Gudjonsson. Taylor. Slid to safety by Steve Palmer, who has played here before for Cambridge University. Right, tripped by Per France. Terry Heilbronn, the referee, asking Per Fransen just to watch his tackling. I'm not sure that ever was a tackle. There are 10 minutes to go to half-time. Still Bolton 0, Watford 0. Kennedy. Away by Robbie Elliott. Well, a dangerous cross here which Elliott had to deal with. It'll be Kennedy once again to take this corner kick for Watford. We've had a couple of scares in the first half. Can they create one of their own? Gardner happy to hook the ball upwards. Johansson. Cox miscued that ball and it's through to Kennedy. Richard Johnson, who's had a quiet game so far. Taylor, Gardner, good Johnson. Page is the last man at the back for Watford. Paul Robinson, who displaced Nigel Gibbs from the Watford starting 11 today. Basile. Oh, look at this by Basile. Tried to chip the ball into the middle. And perhaps he might have gone for glory himself. Through the legs of Gardner. Rather Elliott. Headed clear by Fish. Every so often Watford just seem to raise their game and cause Bolton Wanderers the odd problem here or there. And they convert one of those chances into a goal. Wright. Oh yes, they can. Nick Wright, who was playing for Carlisle last season, has scored a goal which gives Watford a glimpse of the promised land of the Premier League. Hasn't scored since February and has saved a special goal for a special occasion. It's Bolton 0, Watford 1. An overhead kick which eluded defender, eluded goalkeeper, and ended up with Ngonge in the back of the Bolton net. That's how the Watford fans celebrated an unlikely goal to give us an unlikely scoreline. I wonder how Bolton will respond. Here's the goal scorer, who must feel like he's walking on air at the moment. The player likened to Ray Parlour. I'm not sure Ray Parlour ever scored a goal like that at Wembley. Graham Taylor vilified as England manager on many an occasion here. So far, enjoying only his second trip back to Wembley since those dark, dark days when he was in charge of the England team. Nick Wright's 7th goal of the season, enabling Graham Taylor to enjoy the afternoon so far. Long way to go, mind you. This is Gudjonsson. This is Taylor. And that's appeals for handball, and it's given. Free kick against Steve Palmer. Watford have twice beaten Bolton this season in their league fixtures. Is it going to be a third victory under the Twin Towers? Listen to the whistle before you take the free kick. Can Bolton muster up An immediate and emphatic response to that Watford goal. Jensen, it's Franson. Oh, another outstanding save, and that's not even going to count. He's one of the few players Watford have of true Premier League class. And he's got to do it all over again. Take two. Elliott. Johansson. Corner. This is turning out to be a fascinating game now. We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Chamberlain's save from that first free kick was extraordinary, but so was his stop earlier on to deny Gudjohnsen. Bolton still looking for an equaliser. And this time, Alec Chamberlain, who's had a very, very good first half, claims the ball. Chamberlain hasn't missed a game all season and was so determined not to miss this one. He refused to go on a go-karting expedition a couple of days ago with the rest of his teammates, fearing he just might get injured and miss the showpiece today. He even refused a round of golf in case he should pull a muscle, whilst his colleagues are pulling their golf jollies. The Watford fans are singing, "Are you watching Luton Town?" Luton are their big adversaries. And Wright could be in here again. That's another great clearance by Todd. Gardner. Taylor held the ball up well. Ricardo Gardner again. Up toward Gudjohnsen. Mistimed his jump. And here's Robert Page. Robbins. Kennedy. That goal has given Watford a lot of confidence now. 1-0 to the Watford boys, they're singing. That's a superb save. Sadly, the referee indicated that the free kick hadn't been taken at the right time, or the wall had encroached, or goodness only knows what, but Chamberlain was certainly pulling out all his party tricks there. Ngonge. Most important thing now for Bolton is not to concede another goal, otherwise their task could be very, very hard. And remember, they've been down this path before when they met Reading here in the '95 playoff final, when they were 2 goals down just short of the hour mark. That's right, Tommy Mooney, and that's well held by Banks. That day Bolton had to thank their goalkeeper Keith Brannigan for making an important penalty stop that would have surely ensured Reading had gone up. That would have made it 3-0. And they clawed their way back and eventually ascended into their Premier League, only to be relegated again. And here's Gudjohnsen. And he's bent the ball wide. He's had enough chances to score in this first half, and I'm sure his manager will tell him that at the break, which is now slightly more than a couple of minutes away. At this sort of level, you have to hit the target from that sort of range. And Gudjohnsen has had enough opportunities now in this half to at least have scored 1 goal, if not more. A couple of stoppages in the first half, so there might be a bit of stoppage time to be added on at the end of the 45 minutes. Hyde, Gardner, Chased here by the goal scorer Nick Wright. He's picked out Jensen. But Watford are working very, very hard to a man. It might not be pretty, it might not be the sort of class you'd expect in the Premier League, but when it comes to a scrap, Watford have well and truly rolled their sleeves up this afternoon. 2 minutes of stoppage time to be added on. Palmer will allow the ball to go all the way through to Alec Chamberlain. Gonga. Jensen. Fish again is in the walls. Just cut his lip, I suspect. It's a little bit of blood around his mouth. So the first half will be slightly more than 2 minutes of stoppage time coming to its end. Having a fabulous day out. Watford have gone into this game very much with the theory of, well, we've reached the playoff finals. If we don't go up, it's not the end of the world. We've only really set our sights on consolidating after a season of promotion from Division 2 last season. But a goal from this chap here, Nick Wright, has given Graham Taylor a chance, perhaps, of not only making it a memorable day out and giving their fans a happy day out, but also a successful day out as well. Bolton feel they should be in the Premier League. Watford are hoping that they could get there. One of the few imports Watford made a year ago after winning promotion. It wasn't a major outlay by any stretch of the imagination. Nick Wright arrived at the club with Alan Smart, who's one of the substitutes today. Gardner, Gudjonsson. Watford have had a problem keeping him away from goal. And the combination of Gudjonsson and Taylor hasn't really clicked emphatically. The half-time whistle, a matter of seconds away now. No doubt Colin Todd already thinking about what he's going to say to his players, who have not really achieved that much so far. They were very dominant in the first few minutes, but at the break Watford have their noses in front. A really outstanding goal by Nick Wright. As Kenny Jackett and Graham Taylor discuss what they should say to their team at the break. Graham Taylor, who sat in that very seat many a time as England manager and heard boos around him, now hears the cheers of the Watford fans because Nick Wright has scored this sensational goal on 38 minutes. And at the other end of the pitch, his goalkeeper Alec Chamberlain has been in outstanding form. And those joyous scenes of celebration at the halfway point indicate that Watford are in front. The half-time score is Bolton 0, Watford 1. Large periods of the first half without actually finding the goal. Idor Gudjonsson wasted several really good opportunities to score for Bolton and really should have given them the lead before Wright found the target with an audacious overhead kick. And Colin Todd's side know now the task ahead of them to overhaul Watford in this second half, at least score one goal and possibly take this game into extra time. Graham Taylor, the former England manager, hoping to catapult Watford back into the Premier League. He's never actually coached a team in the Premier League. This would be his first opportunity. It's Bolton who restart the game. Bolton have scored in all but 6 games this season. They won't want to make that 7. They have an early throw in here by Elliott. Alec Chamberlain had an outstanding first half in the Watford goal. Johnson will leave it here. That's a poor clearance by Robinson. Interesting to see how Bolton start this second half. An early goal would be crucial to their hopes of overhauling Watford. Bolton have this early free kick. Jensen now for Bolton. Johansson, chased by Robinson, has already been cautioned in this game. Watford have it back. It's always easier to defend an advantage rather than chase the game, as Colin Todd no doubt has said. It leaves Bolton slightly vulnerable defensively as they push on. And it just makes it that little bit easier for Watford. Put it this way, if Bolton were leading 1-0, I doubt whether Watford would have a realistic hope of claiming anything from this game. It'd be very hard for them. Immaculate clearance by Palmer. No doubt he's in for a busy second half. Taylor. Oh, he's done well to hold the ball up here, Bob Taylor. But it's going to be a goal kick. Today's attendance, 70,500. About 9,000 short of capacity. Alec Chamberlain hoping to see many more goal kicks, and very little to do in the second half. That was, I'm sure, his hope at the break after pulling off several first-class saves. Engonga busily winning the ball here for Watford. Lovely touch by Mooney. Kennedy now. And barged over by Neil Cox. Neil Cox, who was left out of the Middlesbrough FA Cup final team here in '97 after a much publicised bust-up with Fabrizio Ravanelli. Richard Johnson to take this free kick now for Watford, who lead by a goal to 0. Good defending. Bob Taylor complaining that he was the only defender, which went with the Watford attacker there. Kennedy to take the throw in here for Watford. Robbins. Goal kick. Incidentally, today's attendance is 70,343. There's an overall record attendance for the playoff finals. That's over the 3 days. So they're proving to be as popular as ever, if not more so. The playoffs do have their critics. Some say it's very cruel on a team finishing third not to go up. Oh, here's Engonga trying to get the better of goalkeeper Steve Banks. Steve Banks had to be quickly outside his 18-yard box here. Mooney. They're saying that the playoffs have their critics. Some say it's very hard in a team finishing third to miss out, and then a team in 6th position eventually working their way through to the playoff final and hence promotion. But they certainly give a twist of the dramatic in these finals. We had an outstanding game yesterday between Manchester City and Gillingham, which went to penalties. Gardner. Pretty clear that time by Robinson. Elliott quickly there for Bolton. It's a good cross. Good Johnson. Taylor's in there. And Taylor's foul on Chamberlain comes to nothing because Taylor quite rightly apologised. Super cross here. Good Johnson flicked it on and Taylor wasn't too far away. And Chamberlain, thankfully for Watford, got his knees out of the way. So it remains 1-0 to Watford. And we've had 5.5 minutes of the second half. Gardner. Ricocheted off the referee. This is right. Ngonga breaks ahead of him. Just stabbed the ball a bit too hard. Good Johnson. Headed clear by Page. Basile. Back into no man's land. Locked up here by Mark Fish. Banks betraying one or two nerves there. He was under pressure from Tommy Mooney. Throw into Watford. Remember, another goal here for Watford would make it very difficult for Bolton indeed. Ngonga. Throw in. Nick Wright threatening to score his second goal of the game. Eventually just dispossessed by Fish. But Watford still on the offensive here. That was a timely catch by Banks, that he missed it. Mooney was waiting behind him. That's good play by Paul Robinson. One headed in towards Mooney, but cleared by Todd. And Gardner. France. Johnson. Good header by Cox. Pushing the ball nicely for Steve Banks. Taylor, beaten by Page. Watford haven't wobbled so far in this second half. Gardner. Really, Watford, I suspect, have the best opportunity of winning by matching Bolton stride for stride and not sitting back and inviting Bolton to attack them. That's the last thing Watford would want. The longer the game goes on, so the tension increases, and the pressure increases on Bolton to find an equaliser. And Watford just see the possibility of the Premier League opening up for them. It was back in 1982 that Watford played their first ever game in the top division in English football. On that day, Everton came to Vicarage Road and Watford won by 2-0. It was a marvellous occasion. And Watford want to go back there once again. Palmer's picked up a head injury here. I think it was all accidental. Good Johnson was the villain of the piece, but he's kicked his legs a bit too high, and with Palmer staring down in front of him, the collision occurred. Steve Palmer, the Watford player who has a degree from Cambridge University. And has a little bit of experience of playing at Wembley, but what about this young chap's experience of Wembley? I bet he could hardly believe it. In 3 years as England manager, Graham Taylor only saw his team lose once here, and that was against Germany. He had a very good Wembley record, but it was his inability to steer England to the '94 World Cup which ultimately cost him his job. Franson. Gardner, that's a lovely ball. Good Jonsson. Well, loud appeal to handball, but I'm not even sure it touched the hand of Steve Palmer. Ball like flew into his midriff. There was danger here as Good Jonsson broke. There was a good challenge there by Page. But it's still Bolton. Gardner. France. Elliott. Franson. Shadowed by Hyde. I thought that was a free kick to Watford because Franson was grabbing hold of Hyde's jersey then. And would you believe it, Misha Hyde has been yellow carded. Bolton have a free kick. We've had 11 minutes of the second half. Ngonga can run here. Dispossessed eventually by Fish. Franson. Johansen. Taylor slept to the vital moment. Good Jonsson. Dispatched out of harm's way. And a roar suddenly at Wembley from the Bolton fans, who suspect this is the time when Bolton just might find an equaliser. Jens. Elliott. Referee spotted something there. I don't think it's going to be too long before Colin Todd makes a substitution because things just haven't gone Bolton's way. They've created their opportunities, but what they haven't done is find the target. And to be honest, the main culprit is Good Jonsson, the Icelandic striker. Just one or two signs of apprehension there amongst the Bolton fans. Fish. Per Franson. Johansen. Johansen again. Page. And the pressure from Cox. Kennedy, well done. Ngonga. Oh, there's a break on here for Watford if they can stay onside. And they can. Tommy Mooney. Mooney's cross, it's a good one too towards Jonsson. Oh, it's been ricocheted over the top off the boot of Ngonga, and that was almost 2-0 to Watford. Super break here. Watford had to try stay onside. They managed to do that. Mooney's cross picked out Jonsson, and that was a timely intervention there, I think, by Robbie Elliott. That could so easily have been curtains for Bolton. 10 here is Richard Johnson. Corner to Watford. Headed out by Robbie Elliott. That should be a throw into Watford. (1989) the last Watford appearance in the playoffs, when they lost to Blackburn Rovers in the semis. Now they're knocking on the door of the Premier League. Banks has the ball safely in his hands. Great to see a goalkeeper called Banks playing at Wembley once again. Johansen. This is Taylor. Taylor's cross. Hyde can't get there. Cox. Bolton just beginning to edge ahead now. The game beginning to open up as Bolton press on the accelerator. But they have to watch out for these Watford counter-attacks, which carry so much danger. Although here's Ricardo Gardner for Bolton. And dispatched out of harm's way by Robert Page, the Welsh international, who's having such an important game at the back for Watford. That was a dangerous ball in, and Page taking no chances whatsoever. We've had an hour of the game. It's still Bolton 0, Watford 1. Todd's forward here. Gardner just needs to lift that ball back into the middle. Johansson, who's having his jersey tug. Oh, that was dangerous. As Michael Johansson was moving in, he almost had the jersey ripped off his back there. Free kick to Bolton in a dangerous position. Watford have to be vigilant here. Cox with a cross. And the chance is gone. Very clear by Andy Todd, the son of the manager Colin Todd. That Gudjonsson-Taylor axis hasn't really flickered into life yet for Bolton. Johns. Michael Johansson continues to take the game towards Watford. France. Taylor. Jens. Great tackle by Ngongi. Jens. And forced error by Bolton, who win it back. Johansson had the ball ripped away from him. Robinson wants it played quickly forward. Robinson's offside. Oh, I'm not sure it was Robinson who was caught. Robinson saw the possibilities then. Look how far upfield Bolton were pressing. Johansson. Johnson. And Watford playing some smart football at Wembley. Not all kick and rush, as perhaps their detractors have suggested. Well, that surely has to be a caution for Robbie Elliott, because Paul Robinson was cautioned for an almost exactly similar offence in the first half. There we go. The referee must have heard me. Robbie Elliott, who was slightly doubtful for the game today after he was concussed at Portman Road in the playoffs. Yellow card for him, the first of the Bolton players to be cautioned today. Watford have a free kick. We've played slightly more than an hour of the game. Watford still leading 1-0 in this Division 1 playoff final at Wembley. It'll be Peter Kennedy to take the free kick. Gardner's lost it, right. And Bolton are about to bring on Scott Sellers now, who's been to 2 Wembley playoffs with Blackburn. Been out for the last 9 weeks with a stress fracture. But he might be the difference for Bolton. They're just beginning to run out of ideas, a team from the northwest. And Watford look very strong indeed. True, Bolton have put plenty of pressure on Watford, but when you think of the number of saves Alec Chamberlain has had to make in this second half, you realise the problem Bolton have. Enters Scott Sellers. It looks like Michael Johansson's coming off. I think he agrees with the manager's choice. So Scott Sellers on. He had been struggling with injury, but he's fit for today's game. Just might bring a bit more craft and industry to that Bolton midfield. Gardner. Right now for Watford. Look at this. Nick Wright for Watford has pulled it back and it's been cleared by Neil Cox. Cross that nobody attacked. His cross. Look at Ngonga here. He wanted the ball cut back towards him. Neither Mooney nor Ngonga moved towards that ball played into the middle. And we've almost reached the midway point of the second half. Watford still have that one goal advantage. Basile. Mooney! I thought that'd gone in for a moment. Mooney couldn't wish for a better cross. It landed plumb on his head here. Foot or so away from making it 2-0 to Watford. At this stage of the match, that would surely have signalled the end of the game. Ngonga gives chase. Elliott gives away a throw-in. Watford by no means swamped in this second half. They are creating chances of their own. Hyde. Johnson. Right! Brave goalkeeping by Banks to race outside his 6-yard box. But Wright was offside anyway. Taylor, who's had a poor game, to be honest, this time dispossessed by Page. Bolton have never really carried that much threat up front. Good Johnson has had a handful of chances, but when he has been put clean through on goal, he hasn't yet beaten Alec Chamberlain. Basile. We've got the final touch. In goes Bolton's way. The last time Watford were promoted to the top flight of English football, it took Graham Taylor 2 years to get out of this division. He could well do it at the first attempt. But that goal by Nick Wright will have to be the one to settle it, unless we have more dramatics here. Kenny Jackett and Luther Blissett just to the left of your picture there on the coaching staff. Household names when Watford were last in the big time. All they need is John Barnes back there and they literally have a full collection. Kennedy looking for that one. Johnson. Throw into Watford. Young and old, all urging Watford on for 20 minutes of glory now. That's all that separates them in a place in the Premier League. if they can keep out Bolton. Gardner, cleared by Page. Remember, we had a dramatic finale yesterday as Manchester City scored twice in the last few minutes of normal time to take their playoff final to extra time and hence penalties against Gillingham. And as we saw on Wednesday night in Barcelona, it ain't over till it's all over. Cox. Sellers. Taylor. This is more promising by Bolton. Sellers again. Cross not close enough to Gudjonsson. Jensen. Good run by Jensen, but three Watford players there. Franson's cross, a bit too long for Taylor. Wesley has to be careful. Taylor's looking for support, as it in Sellers. And Elliott now. That's more like it. But the cross is hugely disappointing. It all seems such a toil now for Bolton. They've played so many games this season. And with 20 minutes to go, this chap's goal, and what a goal, seems, at the moment, destined to bring Watford success. Hyde. Nick Wright. Bolton just need a bit more urgency. And there might be urgency here from Gardner. Taylor's made a sprint in the middle. Chamberlain comes, he was being pushed by Bob Taylor, but still retained possession of the football. He's got pace all right, Ricardo Gardner. He's had a very impressive end to the current season. Mooney. Oh. And Gonga. He was down on his knees when he headed that ball to a teammate. This is Kennedy. Johnson. Wright. Still Wright, scrapping for the ball. Watford just don't know how to give in. Gudjonsson. Look how quickly Watford are getting back now to fill the gaps as Bolton come forward. This is Klaus Jensen now for Bolton. Oh, Gudjonsson. Taylor. Where's he going? Cox. It just sums up Bolton's afternoon. When they've had the ball in front of the Watford goal, their nerve has frozen. Gudjonsson and then Taylor both contrived to spurn the opportunity of having a shot on goal. And this is Alan Smart, who was playing at Carlisle with Nick Wright. In fact, the pair came down together. And it's Ngonge who's coming off. Ngonge who's led the line well. Alan Smart, the Scottish striker, then is ready. Just freshen up that Watford attack for the final quarter of an hour. If it is to be a final quarter of an hour What a glorious quarter of an hour it could be for Watford. Smart on then. Page helping it back to goalkeeper Alec Chamberlain. And the clock is beginning to run down now as far as Bolton are concerned. Mooney. Robinson. Up towards Smart. Johnson trying to pick out a teammate. This is Per France. This is where the wide open spaces of Wembley can be so tiring now, as defenders and attackers scrap for the ball. Hyde. And here's Nick Wright running at that Bolton defence. There could be problems here for Bolton. Nick Wright, who's already scored one. On towards Mooney. And Wright was almost there at the back post to convert the chance. It's almost as if his legs had given out from underneath him, Nick Wright. He just couldn't get there in time to squeeze the ball back in once Mooney had walloped it back across the face of goal. For here is Page. Right. 14 minutes separate Watford and the Premier League next season. Injury here to Klaus Jensen. Jensen looks likely to try and limp on through the pain barrier. France. Ricardo Gardner cuts inside Basile. Oh, what a run here! Tried to pull it back. And it was Richard Johnson, of all people, who got in the way. And there's a break on here. Nick Wright now for Watford. Reinforcements are coming. It's a lovely ball. Kennedy! No, dear me. That was almost a knockout punch. As Wright picked out Kennedy. And he was well off target. He had a long way to gallop forward, and there's a long way to gallop back now as Bolton still seek this equalising goal. Gardner's cross. Taylor will run like a greyhound, but he won't keep that one in. Gardner almost skipped his way through the entire Watford defence. The ball broke to Nick Wright. And his ball to Kennedy was almost key to settling this game. Could have taken this on a few more yards, couldn't he? Didn't have to hit it from there. And most of the noise you can hear now is coming from the Watford fans. Bolton are going to have to start to take one or two chances now. I just feel we haven't seen the last goal of this game. Whether it comes for Bolton or whether it comes for Watford, I wouldn't like to say. Watford seem to carry the greater threat at the moment. Watford trying to defend, get players behind the ball. That's all they can do now as we approach the final 10 minutes of the game. France, and it's a lovely touch off there. Per Franson. Chamberlain makes a routine save. Smart. Right. It's going to be a throw-in rather than a corner. The width of the corner flag sorted out. There's Kenny Jackett screaming instructions to his team. First team coach at Watford. Played in that very first match. The Watford assistant manager when Watford ascended to the top flight of English football back in '82. Banks has the ball. This is Neil Cox. Per France. That's a better ball. Watford have defended well in this second half. Probably better than they did in the first, to be honest. Foul by Ricardo Gardner. We really have seen an extraordinary week of football. Bayern Munich capitulated in the final minutes against Manchester United in the European Cup final on Wednesday. Gillingham capitulated in the final few minutes against Manchester City yesterday. But can Watford hold firm today? Smart. Misha Hyde. And Smart was offside. This will be the longest 10 minutes for every Watford fan inside this stadium. Jensen now for Bolton. Sellers. Gardner. What a tricky player he is. Good Johnson. Franson! They just are unable to get a block or a clean shot on goal, Bolton. And Franson, would you believe, suffered cramp just as he was about to shoot. Incredible. Cox. Free kick to Bolton. Smart gave away the free kick. That was bizarre. Franson pulled his boot back to shoot then. And there was a bout of cramp which stopped him. That's Cox with a cross. It's safely through to Alec Chamberlain as far as Watford are concerned. This goalkeeper performed heroics in the first half. His defence has done the hard work for him in front of him in the second half. Good Johnson. Taylor. This strength-sapping pitch is taking its toll now on those who wish to defend and those who wish to attack. Good Johnson after this one. Well, the goalkeeper hasn't got there. And it's wide. Good Johnson just turned the ball on, got there ahead of Alec Chamberlain. The ball agonisingly rolled wide of target. Well, this player here, Good Johnson, could have had 6 today. I don't wish to do him any discredit, but maybe another striker on another day could well and truly have sewn this game up for Bolton. We are going up is the chant now from the Watford fans. And they're only 5 minutes or so away from realising that dream. There were those who shook their heads in disbelief as Watford clawed their way into the playoffs. There were those who shook their head in disbelief when they edged past Birmingham City via a penalty shootout in the semi-finals. And there'll be those today who'll shake their heads in disbelief that a team who 12 months ago were clambering out of Division 2 are now just 5 minutes away from the Premier League. Good Johnson. Well held by Chamberlain, who's had an immaculate game. Well, if Watford are going to splash some money around this summer, I doubt whether they'll be purchasing a goalkeeper, because they've got a good one there. Kennedy. 86 minutes on the clock. Watford still a goal up. Robinson just overran the ball, and Watford have to get back now because here come Bolton on the counter-attack. Cox puts his head down as he sprints towards goal and then wallops the ball woefully over the top. The Israeli Alon Hazan is coming on now for Watford, and it's the hero of the day, Nick Wright, who's going to come off. Just listen to this reception. And this is why they're hailing in the hero. As good a Wembley goal as you'll see in many a year. So, Alon Hazan hoping to keep Watford well and truly on the path to the Premier League. Hazan trying to get the better of Robbie Elliott, but as long as he tries to keep the ball up at the left-hand end of the pitch, that will do for Watford. And Graham Taylor, oh, he's had such a hard time at times here at Wembley. Been ridiculed from pillar to post, Graham Taylor. But this surely must be one of the sweetest afternoons of his entire life. Elliott is their dramatic finale to this Division 1 playoff final. Smart's won it. There's a break on here for Watford. This could be the clincher. Kennedy, surely the winner now. It is! Watford are going up! And Alan Smart takes them there. The Premier League, here we come! There's one or two tears there. One or two tears of disbelief. Alan Smart, who, just like Nick Wright, who'd already scored, was playing for Carlisle not too long ago, smacks the ball past Steve Banks. And it's Watford surely now who are going to rub shoulders with the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea and Arsenal next season. Bolton have made a late substitution. Bo Hansen's on for them. And it's Ricardo Gardner who's gone off. But can Bolton? Well, that picture tells it all. They're heading for the exits. They're heading for the motorway. They're heading for the M6. And they're heading back for Division 1 next season. Four minutes of stoppage time. They came here in '84 and just experienced the day. Now they've come back here in '99 to win. I wonder what Elton John must be thinking as he watches these pictures from a hotel room in Seattle. Page, who's played a magnificent role for Watford at the back. Alan Smart, who came on to score surely the clinching goal now. Page with a header. There's a one late twist in it here. Taylor tries to turn here for Bolton. High for Watford. I always thought there might be another goal. Tears cascade down that woman's face. They will always remember the day that Graham Taylor brought Watford to Wembley and won. Bolton look absolutely dead on their feet. Remember, 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're 2 minutes into that now. And Chamberlain, who many might feel is Watford's man of the match, will hug that ball and hang on to it for as long as possible. Look at the yellow and red flags waving around Wembley Stadium. We are going up. And they mean it. It looks like there's going to be no late dramatic rescue, just as there was last Wednesday in Barcelona, just as there was at Wembley yesterday. Good Johnson. Bolton had a late free kick with that foul by Robbins. 4 in the wall, please. I make it that we're inside the final minute of stoppage time. Bolton 0, Watford 2. This could be Bolton's last chance. Watford within touching distance now of the Premier League. Bolton will return to Division 1 next season to try again. Fish. Only a matter of seconds left now before euphoria will reign inside Wembley. France. And this football team, who a year ago were heading out of Division 2, are now heading to the top flight of English football after an 11-year gap. He took them there the last time, and he's taking them there again. The rehabilitation of Graham Taylor is complete. Vilified as England manager, but now the hero of Watford. Tears of joy. He can't believe it. And the football club from Hertfordshire can't believe what's happened to them. in the last 12 months. What a fairy story. The Scottish striker who came from Carlisle comes to Wembley and scores the goal that takes Watford up. And his teammate at Carlisle, his teammate at Watford, Nick Wright, with a sensational strike which gave Watford the lead. So Watford return to the top division for the first time in 11 years with a team that cost $250,000. One suspects they'll have to spend a lot more than that now to build a team that will be capable of staying in the Premier League. Only 2 teams have survived after going up via the playoffs. Blackburn in 92-93, Leicester in 96-97. 5 others have come straight down, including Charlton a year ago. Watford know that if today is to mean anything at all, that mustn't happen to them. They have won the Division 1 playoff final with a final score of Bolton 0, Watford 2.